Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Yes, you may.
Hey, it's Icarice, and I'm here to tell you about Hotcast for Podcasting. We are a podcasting studio located in Las Vegas, Nevada, in the Hot 702.5 FM studios. You can book online at hot7025fm.com. Just click on Hotcast. You can book and find your times right there. Thank you for booking with Hotcast for Podcasting.
Hey, y'all, it's your girl, Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
No limit to the limit. Welcome to Marriage Bootcamp. No limit to the limit with Robert and Vicky Bell. I thought I told you. No limit to the limit for better or for worse. No limit to the limit for richer or poor. No limit to the limit in sickness and health. I thought I told you to love and cherish until death do you part. 1 + 1 =
1.
2 is bigger, but it's
Still 1.
1 1,000, but 2
10,000.
Team Bell, Rob and Vicky Bell, Hot 702.5.
We out. Welcome to Marriage Bootcamp with Vicky and Robert Bell on Hot 702.5 FM, Risky Radio. Hey, I'm your co-host Vicky Bell here with Marriage Bootcamp / Marriage Warfare. We're here to have real, honest, unfiltered conversations about marriage, the struggles, the victories, and everything in between. The platform is created for the disciplined, the dedicated, and the wedded warriors. Let me introduce my co-host of 28 years, Robert Bell, the commitment colonel, as I like to call him, leading the charge and lasting love.
The commitment colonel. Well, we're going to get into that today, girl. We're going to get into that today. So I hope you got those notes I sent you. You got all those notes I sent you?
Yes,
sir. I'm putting you on the spot this morning. Good morning, Lady Bell. Good morning. Welcome to Hot 702.5 FM radio, Risky Radio.
Risky Radio.
Marriage Bootcamp with the Bell. Lady Bell, I know our time is tight, and I got a lot. I don't send you a lot of notes, and I wrote here on the top of my notes.
No.
Stay focused, Rob. Remember how you always tell me, stay focused, Rob. Don't get distracted, Rob. See, I'm already getting distracted already, because I remember you would tell me that. Stay focused. No matter what we're going through, stay focused, Rob. No matter what's going on, don't get distracted, Rob. Commitment Colonel. Don't get distracted, Commitment Colonel. Stay focused, Commitment Colonel. Thank you, Lady Bell. Saturday, April 19th, 2025. Lady Bell, April 19th, 2025. Already, Lady Bell. It's April already. What, we got a week or two left in April? The 19th, so we down to about a week, 2 weeks in April. My goodness, where is the time going? Stay focused. Don't get distracted, Rob. Lady Bell, let's jump into this. Recall and review. Stay focused. Why do we have to say recall and review? Because we don't stay focused. Why do we have to do a recall and review? Because we get distracted. That's why we got to do a recall and review. That's why we got to do a recall and review, because we don't stay focused. That's why we got to do recall and review, because so much is going on in 2025. But we are going to stay focused. We ain't going to get distracted. Lady Bell, recall and review. Do you have a life insurance policy? Do you have a life insurance policy? Why did you need a life insurance policy? Just in case. Recall and review. Rest in peace, Apostle Lewis Greenup Jr. He told me some 30-something years ago, and still stand true today. Young man, do you have a life insurance policy? Why? Just in case. Just in case something happened to you, your wife and your kids will be okay. Minister Bell, a life insurance policy is a I love you from the grave. You ain't got to do no GoFundMe. You ain't got to wash no car. You ain't got to fry no chicken. Fried chicken?
Fried chicken?
Fried chicken. You ain't got to stand on the corner with a sign saying, "Help me, I lost my husband. We're doing a fundraiser with a bucket." We ain't doing that. We not doing that. Just in case. You better have you a life insurance policy just in case. Where two are gathered together. Lady Bell, where two, it only takes two. 1 + 1 will always be 1. 2 is bigger than 1, but it's always 1. Where two are gathered. The importance of two coming together, Lady Bell. The power of two coming together. Who made that song? It takes two to make a thing go right. It takes two to make a thing go right. Stay focused, Lady Bell. Recall and review. Where our two are gathered. When are you and her gathering? When are you and her coming together and saying, let's get our money right? When are you and her coming together and say, it's time to pray? It's you and her coming together and say, let's read the word. Lady Bell, you know when this really became important to me? See, I'm getting distracted, but I'm going to throw this in right quick. Just let me know when it's 12:20. No one when this came important to me, where two are gathered together.
When?
You know, back in the slavery days, black folks, colored folks, Negroes weren't allowed to get married. And know what they used to do? They would jump the old broom. They would jump the broom because the master would not allow them to get married where two are gathered together. So they had to jump the broom. Right. Now, why they jumped the broom? To let everybody else on the plantation know. To let everybody else on the plantation know that girl belonged to Leroy now. They don't jump the broom. Y'all don't mess with y'all don't mess with Sally Mae no more. She belongs to Leroy.
Leroy.
So that's why they would jump the broom to let each other. Lady Bell, they wasn't allowed to get married. A man and a woman could not become one on the plantation. But you know what? Because they wasn't allowed to congregate. They were not allowed to loot to gather together unless they were talking Bible. Unless they were reading the word. Master said, what y'all doing over there? Why do you think they be shouting so loud? Because, just in the meantime, if they plotting and planning, they still had to shout. They still had to sing, and somebody had to throw a few scriptures in it. Ain't much change today, Lady Bell. We will shout in a minute. We will dance in a minute. We will fellowship. We will have church in a minute. But what's more important? Where two are gathered. Where two are gathered. See, that's so hard to do, Lady Bell, for a man and a wife to sit down and say, let's read the word together. Let's get some encouragement together. Let's shout together. Let's pray together. But we'll get up on a Sunday morning and do it. But you ain't prayed all week. You'll go to church on a Saturday, a fellowship on a Saturday, whatever your spiritual belief is. If you're going on a Wednesday, a Saturday, or a Sunday, but you ain't gathering at home, if you ain't encouraging her at home, if you ain't encouraging him at home, where two are gathered. Before, they always taught you, do not forsake the assemblies of yourselves together. But first you must gather, husband. Gather with your wife. Come together with your wife. It's more important that you and her is doing some type of spiritual tradition or belief together before you go hang. Hey, we got the playoffs coming up. We got the playoffs coming up, Lady Bell. And one thing I like that, when it comes to sports, I want to go to Cleveland. We wearing these Lakers, but we're representing the James gang, baby. Straight out of Akron, straight out of Cleveland, baby. We representing the James gang. LeBron Sr. and Bronny. We representing them dudes from 330, baby. We representing them dudes from 216. Lakers, Bron Jr., the James gang, and everybody else out there in the 330 and the 216 area code. Go LeBron. Go Cavs. Cavs and Lakers in the NBA Finals. I'm going with the Lakers in 6. Go Cavs, go Bron and Bronny. Lady Bell, you know how we used to be in Cleveland and I'm going to jump the football season.
Okay.
And when they would tailgate in Cleveland, the game wouldn't start till 1 o'clock. Them dudes would start tailgating at 5 or 6 in the morning. At the breaking of day, they would start gathering. They're ready to but they already got their team jersey out Saturday night.
Yep.
They already done made call and said, meet you at the tailgate remember when the dudes would come pick me up for tailgate?
Yes.
Right, we picking you up at 6 a.m. No, the game don't start till 1. We pick you up at 6 a.m.
And it would be so cold.
Hold up, but it's cold out there. Oh man, we got bonfires and beer and alcohol. You're gonna be fine. Come on, we're gonna be playing games at 6 a.m. We would be there. Lady Bell and them guys would be there packed. It would be a line waiting for them to open up the gate to get into the tailgate.
Lord have mercy.
When the last time you went to church and it was a line where they were standing outside waiting to get in? They already was prepped. They was already prepped Saturday night. You know, most of the time you go to church, people running in at the last minute. But them guys on the football shouting for the Browns or the Raiders or the Steelers or the Chiefs, they're already there 4 or 5 hours prior to the game beginning, Lady Bell.
I remember we used to go to a gym and there was a contest that you were in and you had talked so much stuff. And you were like, I'm a win, and da 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 da. And the next day, that day we woke up, it was complete blizzard. And you were like, you looked out, you said, ain't nobody showing up.
Ain't nobody showing up. I think it had snowed like 14 inches overnight.
And I said, well, you know, we got to go because you talk so much stuff. We got to show our face. Man,
I said, Vicky,
it was packed.
I said, ain't nobody going because it had snowed 14, 15, 16 inches. It was 5. We had to be there. We had to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning.
And people had
waited outside. I say, ain't no plow trucks up there. That parking lot, we ain't gonna be able to park. She must have called every plow truck in Cleveland to clean out the parking lot. And people was there.
They was there.
But that was the challenge, or that was me against the kids?
You against the kids.
Oh yeah. I let them win, right? But Lady Bell, but the point I was making about we will get together and cheer and rap and root for, come together for our team. Just imagine. I was at one game and I left the game early. They let me leave early. And the Browns was down like 20 points. And I'm walking about 30 seconds from my car. I hear this big roar from the stadium. I said, man, they down by 20 points. I said, those people are still there cheering because they had scored a touchdown. No chance of winning. It was only minutes left in the game, but they scored a touchdown, and those people still roared, Lady Bell. Remember when I came home and I told you, wouldn't it be amazing? Wouldn't it be amazing to go past a church, to go past a synagogue, to go by somewhere, and we're hear a roar? What happened? When I heard that roar, I said, oh, the Browns don't score. Wouldn't it be nice to go past a church and to hear a roar and be like, what happened? I want to go in there. See, you know why? Because see, like I said, how those people are preparing at home. This dude preparing at home, that dude preparing, and then they come together. But they've been preparing Saturday night the tailgate.
Right.
Then they preparing at the tailgate to go in to cheer for their team.
Right.
We jump up Saturday morning dragging. We jump up Sunday morning dragging. Get there. But if you've been gathering all week, if we've been gathering all week, me and you, could you imagine the power if me and you gathered all week, and that couple and the Johnsons gathered all week, and the Smiths gathered all week, and the Joneses gathered all week, and we came together on a Sunday? How people would say, what is going on over there? I want some of that. You drive by the stadium and hear shouting, you be like, oh, hey, we got to go to a game. We must go to a game. Lady Bell, okay, I know. I still got 5 minutes to do my recall and review. I had to get that in. We talked about that game that the Raymond and Jackie Lambert introduced us to. Talk, Flirt, and Dare. Now, this is recommended for I take it as a couple. You know,
a couple's game.
Couple's
game. You and your spouse.
Yeah.
Not a group of couples.
Yeah, not a group of couples. You know, we talked about it with them couples. Like, oh, you can do the talk and flirt part about it, and the dare part is for a husband and wife. But we're recommending this talk, flirt, and dare for you and your spouse at home to do something. That's what we recommend to do. Talk, flirt, and dare. Lady Bell, recall and review. We talked about gathering. We talked about life insurance. We talked about just in case emergency. April 19, 2025. We've seen all the craziness that's still going on in the stock market. Did your 401k go down 1%, 2%? That ain't life changing. That ain't life changing. But I want to get into, say people say invest. When people say invest, when people tell y'all they're investing, y'all got to get a clarification. I always say, read the whole resume and always look for the result. I'm investing. What you bought $1,000 worth of stocks, or you bought 1,000 stocks? Mm-hmm. There's a difference from buying $1,200 stock than buying $1,000 worth of stock. Well, I'm investing in the stock market. You bought $1,000 worth of stocks. That's not life changing. That's not life changing. When y'all hear people talking about, oh, I'm investing in the stock market, Lady Bell, ain't too many of us really investing in the stock market. So, but you got to stay. We talking about being ready. The emergency, you got to have some. You should already have some emergency money. $1,000 ain't enough. You should already have some food. Why every time there's an earthquake, you got to run? Every time there's a hurricane, every time there's a tornado, you got to run out and get some water. You got to run out and get some food. You got to run out and get some wood to board up your window. April 19, 2025. You still ain't got a generator? What did you spend this week and you still ain't got a generator? You bought Easter clothes and Easter shoes and Easter basket, and you ain't buy a generator? I saw a generator at Harbor Freight, I think. I think it was $4.99. A generator is better than no generator at all. A generator is better. What you gonna do with them Easter shoes? What you gonna do with them Easter baskets? What is you gonna do with the Easter dress? I know he's gonna get up tomorrow, but then Monday, then what? He got up, but then Monday, then what? You're gonna shout tomorrow, but then come Monday, you still ain't got a generator. They're gonna sing, he got up, but what about Monday when you get up? Will you still be smiling? Will you still be shouting? Will you still be lifting up hands? Will you still be waving your palm come Monday when the stock market went down again, when the tariff went up and all of that? Lady Bell, I know we got to get into it. We got a lot to get over.
I think it shows leadership, though. If a husband goes out and get a generator and start preparing and getting things, it shows leadership.
Woo! You starting something there. I call marriage, Lady Bell. Yeah. I call marriage. I got to get in this before we get into all those notes. Tithes and offering. We recall and review. The black church. We're talking about the black church. We're talking about the black church is taking in 18 to 20 billion non-taxable, nonprofit dollars per year. 18 to 20 mil. We talked about the storehouse, Lady Bell. I'm going to need you to pull them books up. We talked about the storehouse. The church is the storehouse. The church should be the pinnacle. The church should be the pinnacle. But churches are running to the government for assistance. Yeah. I'm seeing churches complaining that, they cut their funding. See, the church shouldn't be going to the food bank to be getting food. Well, we can't distribute food anymore because the food bank ain't giving us any food anymore. You're taking in 18 to 20 billion dollars a year. 18. You know how much money 18 to 20 billion would a be? Would a be? $1 billion is 1,000 millions. That sounds ridiculous, don't it? 1 billion. 1 billion, what it be is 1,000 million. What are y'all doing with all the money? The government shouldn't have to fund the church. The government the food bank shouldn't have to drop off food to First Baptist. We can't get our food, no food. You got a storehouse. Hey, what did we hear for years, Lady Bell? As we get ready, we're going to jump into the books. You got the storehouse principle. We told y'all last week about the
storehouse principle.
But before we get into those, Lady Bell, we talked about one of the things I want to say about tithes and offering. And people say, what would the foolishness? How we say there's a thin line between love and hate? There's a thin line also between faith and foolishness. Can I say it a little louder for the people in the back? There's a thin line between love and hate, and there's a thinner line between faith and foolishness. Quit falling for the foolishness. What did people used to say? Well, dude in the pulpit get caught up in a scandal and blew the money and all that. I don't care. I get the money to the church. I get the money to the Lord. If they don't do right by, that's on them. If they don't do right by, but then you argue with your husband about the budget. You argue, you want to go 50-50, but you don't care what the pastor do. But honey, what you doing with your money? No, you can't look at my bank account. No, I don't trust you. What can it be between your husband and God? Let him, if he's better over the money than you, can it be between him and God? Let your wife, entrust your wife to run the budget. Whoever can run the budget better, entrust that to them. Entrust that to them and let them be over that. And then don't say, whatever you do, I'm trusting a God in you. You can't keep giving your money to these. Remember, Lady Bell, years ago, it used to be a law firm that used to come in and check audit churches, cheat them. I ain't lying. Google it. CHITHAM. I believe that's Cheatham and Cheatham. They do stuff right in your face, Lady Bell. But Lady Bell is telling me, stay focused, Rob. Lady Bell, we talked about last week these 3 books. You got the store. Bring the Storehouse Principle up first. You talked about the Storehouse Principle. Lady Bell read that book. Go ahead.
Storehouse Principle, the Prayer of Jabez, and the Law of Recognition. This was Rob's favorite.
The Law of Recognition. You know, back then they used to say, you better recognize, hey, read that book, The Law of Recognition. Lady Bell, the Prayer of Jabez. Lady Bell, prayer for me. When she read that book, The Prayer of Jabez, 1 Chronicles 4:10, bless me indeed, Vicky's prayer, bless Rob indeed, and enlarge Rob's territory. That would be Vicky's prayer for me. Mm-hmm. Bless Rob indeed and enlarge Rob's territory. Let your hand be with Rob and keep Rob from harm, so he will not bring grief. You know, when she would pray that prayer for me, and we would sit down with the kids, and she would say that prayer, and would say, he would not bring grief. And I would tell the kids, me being the head of this home, and like you said earlier, leadership, me being leadership of the home, any one of us can get in trouble. Any one of us can fail. Any one of us can miss the mark. But me being the man of this house, me being the head of this home, me being the husband and the father and the prayer warrior and the, what else do they say? The priest of the home, it was more important for that I didn't fall because it would bring grief to the home. You ain't got a life insurance policy? That would bring grief to your home. But we read that book, The Prayer of Jabez, and what we loved about these books, you want to be blessed and more abundantly blessed. Every book we would read, especially Lady Bell, The Prayer of Jabez, The Storehouse Principle, we would give those books out to couples. We would bless it. Here, read. You getting married, you need to read this. You've been married, you need to. The Prayer of Jabez, The Storehouse Principle, and the Law of Recognition. You know, I think back then when I read that book, it was the law of recognition. Everybody was saying, you better recognize. You, and I gave every guy in my business at that time, every employee I worked that worked for me, I would give them that book, and I would give them a bonus. I would give them a bonus if they read the book. If they read the book. So, you know, you got to encourage your people to do these different things. The Prayer of Jabez, the Storehouse Principle, and the Law of Recognition. You got anything you say, Lady Bell, before we jump into?
No. Let's go on and jump in because I want us to stay focused because we really got to get through and get this information out.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Lady Bell, I'm going to put you on the spot. I sent you them notes. I see you. I know. I saw you sitting in the car glancing. I wanted to wait till the last minute because I didn't want to send it because I didn't want you to think too hard. I wanted you to shoot from the hip, or better yet, shoot from your heart. Shoot from wherever when you started calling me the commitment colonel. Now I took that to heart because commitment is a big word.
Yes, it is.
But before we get to commitment, Lady Bell, because all this comes together, and we got about 30 minutes to get through all this. Lady Bell, we talked about, and this can be part of recall and review, but we talked about being essential. From here on out, I told you that was key to that. 2 words that stuck with me during the pandemic: essential and non-essential. Lady Bell, go to page 1 and read the definition of essential.
Essential means absolutely necessary or vitally important. indispensable, pertaining to the core nature of
Go ahead.
absolutely necessary, extremely important.
Great. Essential. Absolutely necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Those are true strong words, Lady Bell. Absolutely essential. Absolutely
Mm-hmm.
necessary.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like one, absolutely necessary. Can that also be like absolutely unnecessary?
Absolutely and necessary.
Yeah. It said absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
It could be also absolutely unnecessary. Come on now, you're a little brighter than me. You
I
got
think it has to be absolutely necessary.
absolutely necessary. Okay, extremely important. See, you got to help work with me, Lady Bell. Now you said I'm a commitment colonel. Now you more educated than me. You got your master's degree. You know, you got a master's degree. I got a PhD.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know when we got married, you had a bachelor's degree. You know, I always had my PhD. You know, I was determined to get a PhD. You know, but and you know, you said I'm going back to school. I'm going to finish my master's degree. Since you got a PhD, I at least want to get a master's degree. I said, girl, go on and get your master's degree because you living with a dude that got a PhD. So, but even though I got a PhD, you smarter than me. Lady Bell, read essential. We say absolutely necessary, extremely important. 1A.
Essentials, a thing that is absolutely necessary.
Absolutely necessary.
Absolutely
Okay, let's
necessary.
jump down to page 2 for me, Lady Bell. What is the full meaning of essential? Because I said, Lady Bell, keep in mind as we read this, keep in mind 2020. 2020, what did we keep hearing? We're closing that down because it's non-essential. We're not doing that because it's non-essential.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do this because it's essential. This is essential. Non-essential. Do you know how important that was?
Mm-hmm.
Essential and not, Lady Bell, I don't know why it stood out with me,
Mm-hmm.
but non-essential and essential came important at home.
Mm-hmm.
What I started looking at us, you know, because husband and wives was at home 24/7. 24/7. Okay, am I essential? Wait, you know, I would see you taking out the trash like, girl, the bag wasn't quite that full. I got that. Know how we get upset when you, girl, I got that. Just leave that bag right there. Cause when you know you do something like that, that make me feel non-essential.
This trash thing, man.
You know, that made me. What is the full meaning of essential, Lady Bell? Read that for me.
The full meaning. Essential signifies something that is
Hold up.
crucial.
What you reading page 2?
Mm-hmm. 2. Essential means, I'm on 2A.
2.
2.
What is the full meaning of essential?
1A. Okay, here you go. Absolutely necessary or vitally important. Indispensable, pertaining to the core nature or essence of something.
Essential mean absolutely, I go that word again, absolutely necessary or vitally. It went from extremely important to vitally. And vitally, it went from extremely important to vitally important, Lady Bell. Vital. I was like, what are your vital signs?
Right, that's what
What are your vital? Ooh, are you essential or non-essential? Indispensable. What? That's a big word, Lady Bell. I got a PhD. Indispensable. Indispensable. Pertaining to the core nature of essence of something. So something can also mean someone, something or someone. Absolutely necessary or vitally important, indispensable. My God, these words, and you called me the commitment colonel, girl. That scares me when you say that. We're going to get into that. Lady Bell, here are a more detailed breakdown of essential. Read necessity and importance.
The necessity and importance of essential signifies something that is crucial or indispensable.
Oh, we went from vitally important to crucial.
Yes, crucial or
There
indispensable.
go that word again, indispensable.
Without which something else cannot function or exist properly.
Hold it. It said without what? Without it, you cannot, which something or someone cannot function or exist. So during the pandemic, when this thing was essential and non-essential, they said it was essential because without which something else could not function or exist properly. Are you essential or non-essential? Lady, but you see how deep that is? Without which someone or something else, somebody else cannot function. Are you essential or non-essential? I'm stuck there, Lady Bell, out with someone else cannot function nor exist. You there, but not properly. You out of whack.
Just like a relationship in a husband and wife. One of them, you hate this. I hate to use as an example, but one of them died. The other one is just the other one in a husband and wife. If one of them dies, the other one is just off.
Can barely function.
Mm-hmm.
Basic nature, Lady Bell.
It can also refer to the fundamental or intrinsic nature of something, its core characteristics.
This is what the full meaning of essential. You said the basic nature. It cannot refer to the fundamentals
or intrinsic nature. Intrinsic nature of something, its core characteristics.
Okay. Now let's jump down to the last part and what we're working on there.
Okay, the synonyms or the examples.
Synonyms, yeah.
Other words that convey similar meanings include vital.
There go that word vital again.
Yeah. Fundamental. Basic. Indispensable.
So basically, you use all them big words.
Mm-hmm.
Indispensable, crucial, vital, indispensable,
and necessary.
Absolutely necessary. Mm-hmm. And then it goes down to vital, fundamental, basic.
Mm-hmm.
Basic. What are some examples of essential, Lady Bell?
Good vision is essential for a fighter pilot.
Good vision. Got to see what's going on. That fighter pilot, mm-hmm. that plane, that jet pilot is doing 700-800 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have good vision as a fighter pilot. Go ahead.
Water is essential for survival.
Water is essential for survival. I like this one here. Read the last one.
The essential ingredient for this cake is flour.
The essential ingredient for this cake. What good is the cake? How far is the cake going without flour? Exactly. Didn't they say up there earlier? It says something else cannot function. A cake can't function
without the flour.
It can't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Are you the good vision? Are you the water? Are you the flour? Are you essential? Let's jump down. Oh, Lady Bell, before we jump to, I missed something. Before we jump to commitment, let's go back a little recall and review when we talked about that word dedicated.
Oh,
do you got the definition of dedicated?
Yes, sir. Dedicated.
Hold on. I thought I wrote it down.
Okay, I'll read it for you. To be dedicated means to be devoted to a particular purpose, cause, or ideal, giving it a lot of time and effort. It also can mean being set aside or allocated for a specific use or function.
Devoted, dedicated, devoted to a task or purpose, having single-minded loyalty or integrity.
Yes.
You got anything else on dedicated?
To be dedicated means to be devoted to a particular purpose, cause, or ideal, giving it a lot of time and effort.
What else you got on dedicated?
Okay, here's a detailed breakdown. Devotion and commitment.
Devotion. That's the word I was looking for.
Devotion
and commitment. Go ahead. There go that word commitment again.
A dedicated person is wholly committed to something.
Holy. WHOLLY.
Yes.
WHOLL. Holy. All in. Whole. I want to make sure we say holy. I don't want them saying holy committed. Mm-hmm. I don't want them just saying praying. Mm-hmm. We want you wholly committed. Anything else on dedication, Lady Bell?
A dedicated person is wholly committed to something, like a dedicated artist who spends countless hours practicing their craft. And specificity. Something dedicated is set apart or reserved for a particular purpose, like a dedicated parking space or a dedicated computer.
Go ahead.
Function and purpose. In computing context, a dedicated microprocessor is designed.
Okay, that's not necessary. Okay. I meant to wipe that out.
Okay. Synonyms: committed, devoted, loyal.
Hold it. Committed. There go that word again.
Devoted.
Loyal.
And zealous.
Okay, Lady Bell. Now we read all that about being essential. We read that about being dedicated. And what I wanted to talk about on dedicated, when we talked about dedication last time, how we can be dedicated to something. You said dedicated was devoted to a task or purpose, having single-minded. Remember, we're talking about how people are. We just talking about sports. How somebody can be dedicated to their team. How somebody can be dedicated to a player. You know that player's stats. LeBron James, Akron, Ohio, came out of the Catholic school there in Ohio. Got drafted straight out of high school. No, all of that. The dedication that you can be committed to a team or a player. The dedication you can have being committed to your church. The dedication you can have being committed to your soror or your fraternity. The dedication you can have being committed to an organization. Lady Bell, I see so much dedication to everything but each other. People can be so dedicated to a function. Hey, Lady Bell, the dedication it takes to be a line dancer. Remember how we go home to Cleveland and we there for 3 hours. We go to the line dance thing. We there 3-4 hours, and they got to dance to every song. It's not just the fact that they have a dance to every song. How do y'all remember each one? How do y'all remember each one? You get up and dance to y'all. Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all got to dance to that too? Y'all got to dance to that one too. That takes dedication, Lady Bell, to be able to get up and to dance to all those. That takes dedication. We can be dedicated to everything else but us.
Yep.
We can be devoted to everything else but us. We can be committed to everything else but us. Lady Bell, let's jump into this word commitment.
Yes.
Can I read this? Since you called me the commitment colonel. And I say, girl, you putting a lot on me.
Yeah.
Because you know why when I say you putting a lot on me, because when we would talk to people, counsel people, especially single ladies or young ladies, like, well, he don't want a relationship. He don't want to get married. He don't want to do that. I'm like, a lot of guys want, a lot of men want somebody, but once you say I do and I will, for better, for worse, all that, even if you're that on the dating scene, a lot of guys, well, are we what they call it when it's just me and you? What they call it when you're dating? Are we
boyfriend and girlfriend?
No.
I'm your man. I'm your woman. You my man.
When we only see each other, what they call that?
Exclusive.
Are we exclusive? Did I say that right? So when it comes with that, then it's like they're scared of that because they hear commitment. They hear responsibility. See, so when you say that word commitment, and I used to tell them, oh, they know in relationship, they just don't want the commitment that comes with it. Because what is commitment? The state of quality. Read that, Lady Bell, my glass. I can't.
The state of quality of being dedicated to a cause or activity.
There go that word dedicated again. To a cause or activity. You left out one word.
Etc.
The state,
etc.
Etc. What that mean? What's that etc. mean?
All.
And so on and so on. Okay. What is the real meaning of commitment? Read that for me, Lady Bell.
Commitment at its core signifies an unwavering dedication.
There go that word dedication again. Go ahead.
To a course of action, a person.
Hold on. What's that second one? A course of action.
A person.
A person.
Or a belief.
Okay, go ahead. Keep reading.
It involves a promise or a pledge to provide a service, a product, or loyalty.
Loyalty. They go that devoted again.
Along with a willingness to actively engage and invest in the endeavor.
Keep on reading. Here are a more detailed look at what commitment entails.
I like this. Commitment is about staying true to your word and actions.
The commitment kernel, girl, you putting a lot on. Commitment is about staying true to your word and actions.
Even when facing challenges or obstacles. It requires enduring through difficulties and not giving up on your goals. Active involvement. True commitment involves taking initiative and actively participating in the endeavor you are committed to, rather than just passively observing. Long-term perspective. Commitment often implies a dedication to a long-term course of action rather than just a fleeting
For better,
interest.
for worse.
For better,
Richer
for
and poor.
And sickness and health.
Until you read that commitment often implies a dedication to a long-term course of action, for better, for worse, for richer and poor, in sickness and health, long-term, until
death do us part.
Speaking to Mike, until when?
Death do us part.
Said the commitment. You called me the commitment colonel.
Yeah,
Lady
that's
Bell.
you.
So before, okay, let's jump down to personal. You said Long-term perspective, personal responsibility.
Personal responsibility. A committed individual takes ownership of their promises and obligations, understanding that their actions have consequences.
Their actions have what?
Consequences.
Remember I said you did the prayer Jabez?
Mm-hmm.
And you said, from harm or debt will not bring grief. That's consequences. Mm-hmm. Grief is consequences.
Yes, it is.
So a committed person, individual take ownership of their promises and obligations. Husband, your promises and your obligations, for better, for worse, richer or poor. Baby, I got you. Remember I said essential and non-essential? Mm-hmm. Essential, I got you. Non-essential, she's telling you, don't worry about it, I got it.
Let me keep going. Integrity and trust. Commitment is often seen as a hallmark of strong character, reflecting a person's integrity and trustworthiness. Motivation and drive. Commitment can be a powerful motivator, providing the drive and energy needed to achieve goals and overcome setbacks. What best describes commitment?
Hold on. You lost me over that last one, motivation and drive.
Mm-hmm. What best describes commitment? Commitment means a promise to do or give, something to be, loyal to someone or something, the attitude of someone who works or supports something. Commitment. It's also a willingness to give your time.
Okay, jump down to page 4. What is commitment? What is a commitment to someone? Page 4, Lady Bell.
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Yeah. Commitment to someone involves a conscious and deliberate decision to be loyal, devoted.
There go that word devoted again.
And invested in the relationship, going beyond emotions and including
beyond what?
Emotions.
Okay.
And including a sense of responsibility.
So that you won't bring grief.
Mm-hmm.
A sense of responsibility, because you don't want to bring grief. Go ahead, Lady Bell.
Support and willingness to work through challenges together.
Is it going to be some challenges?
Yes.
To be a commitment colonel, you got to work through some challenges. How?
Let me finish. It's a pledge or promise to act in a specific way, especially in a relationship, with the intention of building trust and a strong bond. You want me to keep going or?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're getting tight on time. Let's
Key
get to
aspects of commitment: loyalty and fidelity. This includes being faithful in your actions and thoughts, supporting your partner's interests and goals, and resisting the temptation to betray their trust. Honoring promises, keeping your word and following through on agreements, building a foundation of trust. Consistency, acting in a reliable and stable manner, providing predictability and security. Respect, valuing your partner's individuality, opinions, and boundaries, even when you disagree. Open communication, sharing your thoughts and feelings honestly and openly, fostering an understanding and connection. Sharing future plans, considering your future as a shared endeavor and making plans together. Patience and understanding, being understanding of your partner's imperfections and flaws, and being patient during difficult times.
Can you read that one again, Lady Bell? Patience and understanding.
Patience and understanding, being understanding of your partner's imperfections and flaws, and being patient during difficult times.
Hold it. Imperfections and flaws, and being patient during difficult times. Go ahead, Lady Bell.
I like this next one because it puts me in the mindset of I call marriage. Prioritizing your relationship, making time for your partner in the relationship, even when things get tough.
It went from patience and understanding, imperfection, flaws, and being patient during difficult time. Making time for your partner in the relationship, the marriage, even when things get tough. I call marriage. We talked about that, Lady Bell. I call marriage. This is us. It's going to be a time where, we're talking about you got to be dedicated to home first.
Yeah.
You got to be loyal to home first. You got to be devoted to home first. We talked about that show, This Is Us, when the husband and wife were going through a difficult time, and she said, we got to take care of some business. He said, no, it's something else. I got to go hang out. I got to go hang out with my bros. I got to go hang out with my frat. I got to go hang out at the sports bar. No, she pulled out. She said, I call marriage. Always home first. Go ahead, Lady Bell.
Okay, thanks. Problem solving, working through challenges together, finding solutions, and strengthening your bond. and emotional and physical intimacy, maintaining a strong emotional and physical connection, nurturing affection and intimacy.
Ooh, commitment. See, read that part again. Maintain a strong emotional and physical connection. You know how important it is to touch? You know how important it is to touch, how relaxing a touch is? See, every time we talk about physical touch and nurturing and affection and intimacy, y'all want to go from 0 to 100. Go ahead. You gonna rush me through that?
Yeah. Because I want to get through this.
Go ahead.
Beyond the basics.
Where you at? You lost me.
5.
5, okay.
Beyond
Don't read 5A. I wanted you to do something for you to 5A.
Okay. Long-term planning. Commitment can involve discussions and plans for the future, such as marriage, children, or shared goals. Sacrifices, being willing to make sacrifices for your partner in a relationship, showing your devotion. Shared identity, developing a sense of we, where you think and act as a team. In essence, commitment is a conscious choice to dedicate oneself to another person, not just emotionally, but also in terms of actions, words, and intentions, building a strong and lasting connection.
Okay, what makes a person commit? Now, Lady Bell, you caught me. See, that's why when you would call me the commitment colonel, because I know when I would talk to people, we'd talk to people, and I'll tell them, no, men are afraid of, they ain't about the relationship. It's the commitment and the responsibility and the loyal and the loyalty and the dedication and all of that to being essential. Being essential. I want to be essential. Lady Bell, it's essential. Essential. I got you. You know that keeps me up at night. Essential. I got you. Because I don't want to hear you say, I got it. Don't worry about it. I got it. Don't worry about it. I don't know. I don't want to hear you say, I got it. I always want to be essential. I got you. So that's why I said, when you said commitment, what made you in that mind of yours, that heart of yours, that thought of yours, whatever, what made you label me a call? I know you said it was just, you was doing the thing. What made you call me the commitment, the loyal, the devoted, all this stuff, Colonel? You have the floor, please.
I can talk. The commitment, Colonel, for me, you've always held us down. When I say always held us down, I don't mean that as a cliche. And people that know us know. When things got, you just always been there. You've always been dependable. When things got tough, I never worried. I never wavered. I knew you always had us. When we ran our business, when things got tight, no matter what happened, you always had us. When it was just me and you always had us. When we would go into them houses, you always had us. When it came with the kids, people couldn't tell which one was yours, which ones was mine. You always had us all. The kids to this day can call and you got us. If you say something, it's done. We know I don't have to second guess it. I don't have to worry about it. If you say, oh, okay, I could take care of that. It's done. I don't even have to second guess us. Not just me, not just the kids, even our extended family. You always got your family, my family. Somebody call you, it's done. You just a person of integrity, a person, if you give your word is your bond, commitment. If you say something, if you say I'll be there at 1 o'clock, best believe you will be there at 1 o'clock. And you're not just showing up half-heartedly. And after 20 years, 28 years, going on 30 years of marriage, even through working through through my corporate career, you always supported. And see, that's the part people don't see, is how you supported me. And you kind of, talked about, grad school. When I was working on my master's, you held the family down. You was there. Not to get too personal, but
can you hold that thought? Because after you say these things, I want this when you kept calling me commitment, Colonel.
You got dust in your eyes. Even the one time I ended up in the hospital, it was you. It was it was you who said, "No, we got to go to emergency now." And it was you.
Okay, can I get this out now?
Okay, you
got the frog out
you
my
got
throat.
that dust.
When you saying all that, I'm thinking about being understanding of your partner's imperfections and flaws, and being patient, doing difficult imperfections and flaws. So when you say the word commitment, I think about my imperfections and flaws.
I don't.
You don't. So since we run out of time, did you want to say one more thing, Lady Bell? Because but this what brought it home for me when I think about my imperfection and flaws. You and your partner intentionally say yes to future together, and yes is preceded by conversation about future hopes, dreams, and plans. And this sums it all up. A committed person, a committed husband, a committed wife is simply one who regularly keep their commitment. It didn't say perfectly keep his commitment. It didn't say always. A committed person is simply one who regularly, consistently keep their commitment that he or she has signed up to do. A committed person, even with their flaws and imperfections, even through the ups and downs, a committed person is simply one who regularly keeps their commitment. Not perfectly keep. When I was thinking commitment, I'm thinking perfect this, perfect that. But thank you, Lady Bell. We got through all the notes. Thank you for reeling me in. Thank you for keeping me focused. Because where two are gathered together, 1 + 1 will always be
1.
2 is bigger, but it's still
1.
2 is after 1, but it's always
1.
1 1,000.
But 2 is 10,000.
Team Bell, you know who I am.
And you know who we with.
We out.
Welcome to Marriage Bootcamp with Vicky and Robert Bell on Hot 702.5 FM, Risky Radio.